Maybe.
Oh.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
If it happens, it happens. I got my dice for Noelle. Perfect.
Mine are within reach.
Mine
I
are...
just need to...
My dice? I didn't.
That means I also need to get Asa's thing up if you do. Oh, by the way, Asa is literally following you, Noctis.
Oh?
He's making sure you're okay. You just went through a whole bunch of fucking shit. He's legitimately like following, you know that he's there. He's just like making sure you're okay. And like when you're exerting yourself or like reaching up for something, he's gonna quickly grab it before you do. Like you just went through a very traumatic experience. He's not fucking with that.
And he's like, I'm fine. But
he doesn't buy it.
He enjoys Ross's company, so
he's like, I'm fine.
He's like, I'll take it. Like, I get some extra attention, sure.
All right. So, she is going to take you not into the library, but into her bedroom where she had once taken Noctis to get the array of health potions. So you get to see her fairly large bed, her closet. It's very luxurious, but there's also like a sense of oldness to the style of this bedroom too, like almost like ancient Egyptian kind of style. So it has like a fake balcony that opens up and you can see like a very large looking deserty kind of background that she has made for herself. She kind of walks in, you walk in, she closes the door. There is a small little seat on the balcony with 2 chairs. There is the bed, if you want to just sit on her bed, or you can sit on the ground. Where are you going to place yourself?
Key's a little awkward, so she probably won't sit until Noelle tells her to sit somewhere, to be honest.
She's just sitting at the door, arms crossed, staring at you, studying. Just kind of seeing where you're gonna go.
Key will probably go out to the balcony, I guess.
Okay.
She'll go to the balcony.
Roll a perception for everything that you can see.
Oh. Literally nothing.
She is preoccupied.
That is a nat 1.
Oh yeah. You smell like heat. That's it. But you know there's like a desert or something over on the side.
Okay.
Yep. You just kind of sit down. When you sit down on this chair, it is like an iron chair, but when you sit on it, it's nice and cool to the touch. So that difference between the heat outside and the cool chair kind of evens out your temperature. So, she walks over and sits across from you, whisking her hand as some tea appears. The tea itself looks blue in color, but then she adds a little bit of lemon and it turns purple. And then eventually she adds some sugar and it turns pink. I asked you if you wanted to talk. And yet you're silent.
Yeah.
Maybe silence is good for you. You don't get it very often. Just for a moment, at least.
I don't know.
You're stressed, I know.
bit of an understatement.
No. Just the right amount.
Stressed, scared, confused. Everything, I guess.
That makes sense. You have so much on your plate that it's overflowing and you can't catch all the droppings. Almost as if you're taking everything and every stress on your own, right?
Kind of feels like I have to.
Why do you feel like you are the only one that does?
I mean, I don't know. Last time I tried talking to someone, I wasn't really a friend to her, so.
Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they think the same thing. Sometimes, in a friendship, there are sometimes people will need to share the weight of one thing and push back their own. And then eventually, over time, others will come and lift that weight in response to that as well. It's a give and take relationship, friendship is. You may have laid out everything for your friend, and you felt like you didn't do the same for them, but maybe in time, they would have done the same to you. You can't expect someone to take everything you have and immediately give you all of their problems in return, because maybe they think that you would then take on their stress and their worries, and then they already see how worried and stressed you are, and they wouldn't want to do the same.
Honestly, that's kind of where I'm at with anyone right now, I guess. Just kind of feels like I'm I don't know.
What do you mean?
Everyone has their own shit they're dealing with.
Yeah. It takes a lot for someone to tell their side of things. It takes a lot for someone to explain how they're feeling, the truthful, but it also takes a lot for someone to listen. If you have someone who's willing to listen, that's someone important. If they're willing to listen to you, no matter what it is, even if it's the same thing over and over again, it means they understand where you're coming from. It doesn't mean that they're annoyed with you. They understand that it means a lot to you and it has worth to you. Think of it as family. Friends are family, but they're the chosen family that you have. You'll have ups and downs with them. Some will take more than others. But that's just how a chosen family works. You might be taken from the pot right now, but that doesn't mean that others aren't going to take from the pot as well. And they might need you to refill what they've already refilled for you.
I'm more than willing to be that friend for people. I'm not saying I'm not.
Then what are you saying?
But I'm not good at it, and I don't know, maybe I'm selfish.
What's wrong with being selfish?
Leads to kind of feels like, at least with situation with Ophelia, I was more selfish and lost her, I guess, in a way, and last thing I want is for that to happen again, so.
Ophelia chose that for herself.
Did I
You
know?
didn't lose her key. Key. Look at me. Don't think for a moment her giving herself up is your fault. There's how many other people were in that house? How many other people could have stopped her?
A lot, but they didn't.
Yeah, you're right. They did not.
But they didn't talk to her like I did.
Doesn't mean that they couldn't have stopped her. You may have had a deeper relationship with her, but she felt deeply enough herself that you all were worth protecting, or something was worth protecting. So she gave herself up for that.
It was kind of ironic because in my mind I was more so willing to protect her. Am willing to protect her.
Yes, but she also doesn't have everything that's happening to her like it is to you. You have someone from the future coming in and out of probability and messing with the timeline and the gods. You are battling demons and gods. You are trying to stop something that might happen and could destroy all the realms and Earth. So what's her sacrifice for time, to give you time, different from you fighting? Maybe that's her way of fighting. She knew the risks.
She's more important.
Maybe she didn't think that of herself either. Maybe she saw you all were more important than just her. More lives than one. The bigger picture. What is one life compared to billions?
Yeah, I know, but that's concerning to me, I guess. I don't want her hurt. I don't want anyone else hurt.
Yeah, but right now we're not in a place where we can prevent everyone from being hurt. Asa gets hurt every day, and I have to send him healing potions for that. There's people who fight
also
in
scares me.
wars. There's people who fight in wars, you know this. You are trained to understand the life of many versus one life. Protect what is needing to be protected.
Well, failed at that anyway, so.
Not yet.
And when I. Isn't that what a scout's job is? That's what a scout's supposed to do. Couldn't even fucking do that.
Do you feel like you need to be yelled at for that? To be blamed? You bring it up. You think about it all the time. Do you feel like you deserve the scrutiny for that day? For the loss of those soldiers who put themselves into that position?
I feel like I didn't deserve to survive that.
Maybe. Maybe not. Life and fate are very strange things, and I know you hate that word, fate. Fated to do this, fated to do that, fated to die, fated to live. I know you hate the idea of that. Your life has been pre-planned by something else. That you are cookie-cuttered into a certain corner to play a certain role. But who's to say everything you're doing goes exactly as is planned? Your resistance against the machine that is the deities, that is the rules. Who is to say that is exactly what was planned for you to do? Fate is a word that's thrown around to explain something that we don't understand. Because who can explain life? Because it's different for everyone. People keep trying to change things. And they keep failing. Because it comes to the same conclusion. Who is to say that it's actually going to change? We do what we feel is right in our own eyes. Some believe it's one way. Some believe it's another. So when we look at those others who we think they are wrong, we scrutinize them. Or we feel pity for them, or anger towards them, or anger towards ourselves for not stopping them. You have no control. If someone wanted to do something, they're going to do it. If they are not 100% sure of what they're going to do, only then can they be swayed. Ophelia was determined to go, so nothing could have stopped her. Not even you. And I know deep down inside you blame yourself for her, for your family. No. Who's to say that another scout didn't see something last moment and looked away, thought it was maybe a shadow? Who's to say that maybe another soldier was coaxed to go a different direction and missed so many others? Who's to say someone didn't close your eyes and make you go into a deeper sleep than usual? We don't know, but it's done. And what's done is done. We can't change it. We can only go forward. Nothing would have changed her mind. You would have still gone after whatever it was. That's just who you were. That's how you were raised. Find out what it is. Uncover the possibility of if it could be a threat. Yet you still blame yourself. You need to let it go. Because the more you wallow in it, the more it's going to crush you every which way you go. You will feel, even if it is not your fault, that it is somehow your fault. You can make all the connections and weird little boards you want with all the lines crisscrossing and pointing in different directions, but the truth is not all of it is your fault. It never has been, but you blame yourself for it because you think that it is somehow your fault for everyone else's choices. You have to realize you can't control everyone.
Not trying to control anyone.
But you want things in a certain way. And if they don't go your way, you think it's your fault they're not going a certain way. You have to understand, the only thing you can control is you. You can't dictate or change what people think. You can't have people think that you are this enemy to yourself so much. Because that's what you're becoming. You're piling yourself so high with all this bullshit, Key. All this anger and resentment. All this blame. Because you thought you were going to be a certain way, didn't you? When you were growing up, you had a certain idea in your mind how things were going to be for you. What were you expecting for yourself? Going up the ranks, having a perfect home, a family eventually, married to someone you adore, friends that could be rallying around you, but that's not what you have right now, but that doesn't mean you still can't have it for the future. Don't pigeonhole yourself and place everything on your shoulders. Asa, Noctis, Ophelia, Phoenix, They're all making their own choices. They're weaving their own stories. They all have their own little idea in their head of what they want for the future. Don't think it's your fault. It's not. No matter how many times you want to blame yourself. Young lady, I have seen so many people blame themselves for things over the decades I have been alive. And they destroy themselves over it. Either they die having regrets, or they let it consume them and wallow or change them in a way that is worse for themselves than before. I want you to say it's not your fault. You can't, can you? Say it.
I can't.
Say it.
It's not my fault.
Again.
It's not my fault.
What'd you feel? Right here. When you said that?
I don't know.
Nothing? Then say it again.
It's not my fault.
Every time you have a doubt, I want you to repeat that to yourself. Because it's not your fault. It's never been your fault. Anyone who would say otherwise is absolutely wrong. Scream it if you have to. She motions out to the desert. There's nothing here that could say otherwise. What's wrong with admitting it wasn't your fault?
Because what if it's a lie? I'm just fucking lying to myself.
But you're not. You were lured away by creatures of probably Obscura. Anyone would have gone after that. Anyone would have done what you did out of fear of safety for their fellow man and woman. If I or someone else did the exact same thing, you would say it wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? What if Ophelia was in your shoes? You would tell her it wasn't her fault.
Yeah.
Then how are you any different?
I don't know.
The world isn't gonna stop turning, Key. The next morning will come. The birds will chirp. The suns will rise. The moons will fall. It's just going to keep going. So why are you letting these chains hold you? Because this doubt is only going to get you into the mud further and further until you destroy yourself. Roll a d20.
18.
Hearing these words and kind of look off to the side and look out to the vast dunes of sand in the distance, the sun setting, some pyramids out in the distance among some reeds and some river that you can't really recognize. And you hear, just in the back of your mind, small humming, a lullaby of sorts. You can't place who's singing it, but it's comforting. And the words that our Noelle has been saying to you resonate with a conversation you once had with someone. It's not your fault. You did your best. You've had somewhat of a conversation like that before with someone. You can't help but want to deny those words, but at the same time, you can't argue with it either. And you look back up at Noelle, and she's staring back at you, and you don't know. You can't place the face that belonged to those words prior to Noelle, and you just feel that ache in your heart. That reassurance that you knew that was behind them. A strength that is familiar and warming, and you yearn for that. Why can't you remember that face that told you those words? And it hurts. But you've been told this before, not just by Noelle. Whoever this person was, whoever was speaking to you before, whoever sang that lullaby, they would have said the same thing. Noelle sits back, sips some of the tea. You watch as the sugar that was in the tea swirl and change the color of that purple to the pink. For a moment you think of the petal falls, color similar to the flowers in that meadow. And you breathe out. Just take a moment and close your eyes. She sits there, across from you, quiet, letting you resonate with the feeling of joy, love, compassion, a gentle hug, kiss on the forehead. But still no face. No matter how hard you try. Noelle sets down the teacup on her little saucer and looks at you. Say it again. Say it again until you believe it.
It's not my fault.
Do you believe it? Say it until you do.
It's not my fault.
It never was.
Okay.
Okay. Once this is all over, Key, if you still feel like you don't have a home, you still have one here. You always have a home to come back to. Okay?
Okay.
You really are sprouting. You'll be a big, strong tree one day. I can see it. This tea, do you know what it's called?
No.
It's called the butterfly bloom. It's said to hold properties that can ease the mind and bring one peace for a moment. A calming, a sedative in a sense. Don't worry, it's not dangerous, but it lets you calm your nerves if you feel stressed. You're more than welcome to take some with you if you feel like you need it. I think sometimes having just a moment for tea is never a bad choice. She takes another sip. Depending on what you add can change the flavor. Some used to think this tea was magic, all on its own. The sugar, the lemon. Even humans think it's magic sometimes. Funny little thing. What belief can do. If you believe something so fully, you can be fooled into thinking it's true. You can even fool yourself to think something's true when it's not. Funny, isn't it? But our little chat seemed to be more of a speech, didn't it? How are you feeling? Still upset?
Yeah. But I don't know if that's gonna change anytime soon, honestly.
Well, with a boy like that on your tail, I'd be a little upset too. Be weary of him. He's not your focus. The one here is.
I know.
He's made his choices. The other one hasn't yet.
I know. It's just hard to...
I know. Believe me, I know.
the only one who does.
I doubt that. It's just others can't see it in the full picture. They can still say they dislike them. Doesn't mean they don't understand them. I didn't like you when I first met you. You tried to... Oh wait, no, it wasn't you. It was the other one that tried to steal from my store.
Yeah.
So many questions, though. Clever girl. You'll figure it out. And we'll be with you every step of the way if you want. Again, you're not doing this alone. You're family now.
Thanks.
I've already made up a bedroom. It's all ready. You're more than welcome to take a peek on your way out. The handle has a butterfly on it. Asa has one too.
Yeah, I probably should talk to him.
Asa? Yeah?
Kind of snapped at him the other day.
Sometimes. Rightfully so. Why'd you snap at him?
We were talking about things and gave an opinion that I didn't like.
Let me guess. To deal with our troublemaker? He's entitled to it. Doesn't mean you have to like it. Even he knows that. I think you still have time before you go if you want to. Make sure Carr doesn't steal any more of my shit, please.
Yeah, I'll try. He seems to do good things and then not good sometimes. I don't exactly know where his morals stand, to be honest.
He's young. Most of you are. Compared to me.
You look bad for your age.
Say that again?
I said, you don't look bad for your age.
Ollie heard
I
bad
know,
for your age, and I went, what?
Pick me up.
She just kind of
I heard that
chuckles.
too, and I was like, what?
I know, I didn't pick it up at
Insult
first.
her?
I was like,
I was like,
no.
Poor Noelle.
she just
No.
kind of laughs.
You don't look bad for your age.
Oh, you know. Good skincare routine. Does wonders. And you know, a few couple spells too. And some nice jewelry.
Yeah.
You should try to talk to Noctis. Boy's in more pain than he's letting on.
Yeah, I know.
Think he's kind of doing what you have. Blaming. Frustration. Still can't pinpoint him. Trying to, though.
once you get through to him, he's not so bad. It takes a second.
It's what I've been hearing from him. Well, Asa.
Yeah.
Roll insight.
Dirty 20.
When she paused at him, you could see her mouth forming into sun for a moment before she switched it to him. All right. Anything else to discuss? Or is this therapy session over for today?
Just, I genuinely mean when I say thanks. I mean it.
I know. I'm very insightful when it comes to people. I can normally tell. That reminds me. You see her, like, blow into the air, and you see a little blue butterfly appear on her hand as she blows it to you as it flies over, and you see it kind of come onto your head and just transform. You have a small little barrette of a blue butterfly on your hair, just so I can keep an eye on, if you don't mind. I know lots of things, but if you need me, I can be there quicker that way.
Those metal things that they were talking about you making for us, those medallions or whatever. That's not gonna block you from seeing.
Not if you have that. Besides, when I do the spell, I can make it so I can see, but no one else can see. Like a personal access. But I'd rather that be your choice than for me to just add it.
I don't mind.
Okay. Then I'll just leave you with the butterfly.
Thanks.
Always. You see her kind of look out towards the big desert area and let out a long sigh. I think they're going to be leaving soon.
Okay. Gonna go talk to people.
Close the door on the way out. I'll be here.
And she awkwardly gets up and walks out.
Yep. Just sitting on a balcony, drinking her tea, looking out at the desert. There you go.
Well, she wants to talk to Asa and Noctis.
At this moment, they would be probably coming back. Ooh. They're making probably on their way back from Phoenix's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Key's gonna walk right up to them.
Is Key gonna find her bedroom that has been made for her first?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. You find the little door. You see the handle that has a little butterfly on it. It has an emerald green color to it. Open it up. Open it and look out, and it starts as like a flower meadow, that goes into what looks to be almost like a tree house for her. And it has like a little hammock off to the side. There's a big, huge, like, tree that has like a little ladder that goes up into this like small little like bedroom type area up here. But when you look away from where the door is, it's just flowers. A big giant meadow, large looking mountain area in the far, far distance. You can almost feel the breeze against your skin. You can even once in a while get a whiff of the flowers as they sway in the breeze. A large looking bed, but again, there's that hammock off to the side, which would be probably where you would normally be. Off to the side, it's almost like a little nook area with a little seating location and just tons of books. Just a whole bunch of different books. You see on a small area off to the side, it almost looks to be like a mantle, and on the mantle there is a figure of a gentleman who kind of resembles your father next to your brother, and then there's a woman next to him, but you can't quite make out the face. And there's like a little couple of incense on it. It looks to be a display for your parents who had passed, and apparently your nanny. But it's beautifully has like, it's like inside like this little nook, and it has like some branches intertwined with it. It's what as a child you imagined your perfect bedroom to be like, to a T. And you see, make a perception.
Natural 20.
So you see there's a rod, kind of, that takes you like down, like the stairs down to the area where you climb down. And looking at the center piece, there's an intricate looking design on it of leaves and acorns overlapping one another, reminiscent to something in your mind that is stark white, that has gold in between each of the little areas. And you can't help but start feeling tears in your eyes for some reason. It's perfect. And you feel oddly at home. That's it.
My heart. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Go find her friends now.
Okay. Just guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as going through the hallway, you can do a perception check to see if you can locate Asa's bedroom.
Ooh. 17.
Yeah, easy enough. You see another handle that is an open book. And what looks to have a little raven on top. Kind of pause, look at it, and you go, huh. You can open it if you would like.
Yep.
Or you're going to just open it right away. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We know Kate. She's curious.
Yeah. She's like, all right. Walking in, this bedroom is darkly lit. So there's a couple of floating globules that are kind of floating around, and you can tell almost every inch of this bedroom is covered in books. There is a small alcove that's been kind of carved out, the books almost making a circle around it, and a large bed. And then you kind of look to the side, roll investigation.
My forte. 26.
Okay. You look off to the side and you see one of the bookcases slightly open, and you're like, oh, secret passage. And you push it open, and it enters into a large cavern-like location, large purple type looking trees growing off to the sides, and over the top they have little globules hanging from them. And in the center is just a very large looking pool of water. The globules are just slightly lighting this area up. It seems very tranquil. You see off to the side, you see kind of one of those, like, have you ever seen like Karate Kid when they're going against like the wooden fucking thing? Mm-hmm. There's like one of those, but it's made out of that purple wood. Off to the side, there is another monument type thing, kind of similar to the one that was in your room, but of a singular woman. Long hair. Face is slightly covered as if they can't fully remember what they look like. And she's cradling a child in her arms. And a very large crescent moon is behind her. Looking at it a little bit closer, the child is reaching up, and the mother has her finger down as the child is holding on to it. The ring very apparent on her ring finger. You get the feeling that this is a monument for Asa's mother, or what he can remember about her. Other than the room with all the books, it's very bare. As if it's slightly empty in some way. But you do look to the side and you see a small desk. And above the desk are a few crude drawings of childhood moments in the bakery. Of Asa and Noctis and Nadia. And you see a large ribbon that's hanging off to the side. This ribbon definitely isn't a color that Asa would wear. And looking at it, you kind of tilt your head. This is something that probably Noctis would have worn growing up. To either put back their hair or to put around their waist or something of that nature. You're not quite sure. But this is the only location that has things on the wall itself. Everything else is barren. And you kind of look off to the side and you see that there's a curtain that can easily cover this location up to make it invisible to the eye if necessary. Kind of step back again, and you notice the entrance to this location. You can't see that corner with all the good memories. It's hidden, as if pushed away for the moment. That the only way he would remember that is if he physically put himself in front of it, as if he's trying to forget or push something aside. kind of look around and you see some more of those healing potions kind of scattered throughout. He's a little bit of a mess here and there. Papers, potion bottles. But other than that, it's pretty plain. Pretty simple. As if they know this isn't going to be someplace they're going to be staying for the rest of their life. That they have a timed amount and almost like he could pack up at any moment and move on if need be. It's like those people who move into a new apartment and just live out of their suitcase. He could go at any time, and he knows that. And that's kind of what you see in this room. Simple. Beautiful. But easily replaceable. And easy to forget. Sorry, Luna's whining.
I heard her.
She really wanted outside. You don't? She just ran out. So, what would you like to do?
Go find my boys.
Okay. It's very dark and dreary in his room. It's very dark. But makes sense, he's a drow. Mm-hmm. They don't really like sunlight in general. Alright. So you leave his room, close the door. You see some other small doors, some with little signias on it. But you leave them be for now. One catches your eye for a moment, but it seems to have shifted from the image of what it was for a moment into a regular handle. Roll another perception.
18.
This one was in the form of a dove with its wings out before it changed back into a regular knob, as if what was once there was erased or being covered up from your view. All right. You're gonna go find your boys. Yep. Okay. Sam? What happened?
Oh, shit.
Oh, crying. Lots of crying.
Oh,
yeah.
God. What a nerd he is. Okay. Alright, so Asa has, like, any of your extra stuff over his shoulder along with his own shit. He's not letting you carry anything right now. Like, he knows, like, you've been healed. No.
He doesn't even have a lot of shit.
Yeah, exactly, which is funny, because he's just like, nope, just the clothing that you're wearing, go. So you guys are able to make it back to Noelle's shop. Umiko's out there, looking at her timer, arms crossed. Looking annoyed. So you guys go back inside, and Asa just kind of goes, be right back and go get my stuff. Gonna grab some more supplies. He's gonna. So he passes you. Key. You know exactly where he's going. You were just there.
So funny.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Asa's gonna go get his stuff. Noctis is in the main entrance to the shop.
Is everyone else there?
There's a couple people here and there. There's people who are like packing their stuff again.
Key's gonna take Noctis then and kind of be like,
where are you gonna take Noctis? Back to the meeting room.
Where we can talk alone. You know what?
The
Let's
library.
go to my bedroom.
Your bedroom. Okay.
It's gonna try to grab Asa, I guess.
So Noctis doesn't know you have a bedroom here. So
no.
Yeah, no.
He's gonna be like, when did this happen?
He isn't gonna say much. She's just gonna kind of do the whole like, hey,
come with me.
Talk.
Yeah.
She's gonna try to grab Asa too, I guess, somehow. I don't know if she's gonna pop her.
Hey. It's probably like midway. He's changing. What? Do you want another shirt?
I need to talk to you.
All right. Hang on. Let me grab some more shirts real quick. By the way, did you need any more shirts or? Well, you would have realized you have a wardrobe in your bedroom as well.
Ooh. Fancy. Look at you getting my hookup.
So he's gonna get dressed and throw his pack and Noctis' stuff and waddle in. He's gonna look around. Huh. It's a little bit like the gardens.
It's a lot like the gardens.
It's a little bright, but it's nice.
Very bright.
Yeah, but it's relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
What flower is this? It's a daisy.
She's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna like look at both of them. And are they standing like next to each other?
Oh yeah, probably like close.
Okay.
Just like.
Okay. Well, she's just gonna like walk forward and just hug both of them like at the same time and just kind of like start crying.
Oh. I'm gonna be like, oh, whoa, and he's gonna like kind of
do the pat.
Rub her back. And he's gonna rub her back.
Yeah, Asa's doing the pat.
Noctis is a little more on the affectionate side.
Key, are you alright?
What's wrong?
I'm sorry.
For what?
For what?
I don't know, just the way I've been reacting lately, I guess. I don't know.
It's understandable you've been stressed.
I know, but...
You don't have to apologize, Key.
Yes, I do.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I accept.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't feel like you have anything to apologize for.
No.
I just... I don't know, I snapped at you, Asa, and I shouldn't have, and...
Key, if I was really upset that you snapped at me, believe me, you would know. You're fine. He's gonna kind of pushes Noctis off so he can do like a full brother bear hug on her.
Bitch.
Kind of gives you that extra, like, you know how like people do that extra squeeze sometimes when they're giving you a hug. He does that.
Yeah.
Sure, hug me like that. I'm just kidding. He doesn't.
Big glare.
I'm really scared, and I'm tired of everything, and I'm just...
Key, you're mentally exhausted.
Yeah, and we all are. It's not It's not just me. You guys are too.
True. There's a lot that we're all handling. But we'll handle it together. Right? Whatever gets thrown at us. No matter big or small. Did you really think I was going to be perturbed by that? By you snapping at me? I've had to deal with this one for ages. Do you really think something like that was going to ruffle my feathers?
I did try to beat the shit out of him. I think you're alright, Key.
It's gonna take more than that.
Just, I know your opinion on things, so...
Yeah. I just don't like how he treats you. You deserve better. He treated you like an object, Key. When we were in Obscura, he tossed you around. He forcibly kissed you. You liked that, didn't you?
Look at her face. Of course she liked it.
She's gonna turn red so fast. Like, super red.
He kind of like pokes her on the side. Molly Joshin. But still.
I'm not.
I know you're not.
I don't know anything about any of that, so just... Fuck if I know.
I don't know. The way he handled you was as if in a thought maybe he thought he owned you, and I did not like that.
He was
like,
being an asshole.
He could do what he wanted with you and could easily make you bend to his will. That's my concern. Don't like it. I understand where you're coming from. He's a long-time friend. Been around you since you were growing up. Your rival. Playmate. Brother to your best friend. He's been around you for ages, I understand. But that still doesn't mean that I have to like him. Because I care about you more than I give shits about him.
Same.
I know. It's weird. All of it's weird.
Yeah, time traveling is a little bit fucking weird.
Time traveling.
Well,
yeah.
He also, like, stabbed himself in the fucking hand.
I don't know what that...
I think that was more Thanatos than that was Venry, but that was weird.
Yeah, it was. That's what's so hard about it, I guess. So I know there's moments that's him, and then there's moments that's not, and it's hard. It's hard.
I know. And I know that you want to try and save both of them. Believe me, I would be in the same boat as you if it were others. But you have to admit, he might be too far gone. He's done this 17 times, Key. Who's to say he hasn't been warped each time?
That's why I'm having a hard time admitting that. Because if he's trying to change something, if there's something he wants, and he's helping, I mean...
I just can't trust him. Something about it is off. And if he truly is trying to stop something, don't you think he would have told us or shown something else to us to show that what he's doing is the right way, not necessarily what he's doing?
That's my whole thing.
I know you want us to understand where you're coming from on this and want to slightly give him the benefit of the doubt, but... Key, I just can't do it. You're the only Key I know. There's 2 of him. This is our timeline, not his. If you're gone, then my Key is gone. I don't have another one. If Noctis is gone, he's the only Noctis I know. I don't know. Especially with what Noctis said about him liking the power. It just doesn't sit well with me. In all the books I read growing up, that's something dare I say it, and I know you're going to give me that face. It's something the villain in the stories would normally say. He might have maybe thinks it now that he's doing what he's doing is correct, but from my perspective, it's not. You understand where I'm coming from, right? What you know of him aside, you can understand my concern.
Yeah, I guess I... guess I'm just... I'm scared that if I or we can't help him in our timeline, that maybe he'll end up like that again.
And that's why we need to focus on the current one.
I am. But it's also hard to only focus on the one. Because to me, it's Fenry. It's not. It's him, so it's hard for me to differentiate it. Even with the...
Do you remember the reflections in the mirror manor?
A little bit.
Roll intelligence.
I've got my intelligence.
Sorry. I know you're like mid-cry. But he's trying to make a point.
17.
Do you remember looking at yourself in the mirror and it wasn't you, correct? It was you, but it wasn't. It was like a darker version of yourself.
Yeah.
a distortion. And if that self came out, you would try to combat it, wouldn't it? What do you think this future Venri is scared of most? He said it a few times. Power. The one thing his current self can't know. Because maybe that will dictate whether or not he takes the pact. Because who would want to look at themselves and not like what they see? Or what could happen? We need to possibly find out maybe what happened in those other 17 times. We have to trick him to speak. And you're the only one that can make him do that. You might have to use your connection to him to get the information we need so we can figure out what we need to do to protect this timeline.
I tried to get him to talk and he didn't.
Maybe you just gotta use something against him. Don't know what, though. Noctis, what do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think having a conversation with the current Venri might give you a light, an idea of what the future one is looking at? Find out where his mentality is, maybe?
I think something happened in future Henry's timeline.
But what could make someone go down a dark hole like that? I don't know. I don't think he ran out of time.
No.
I think he chose it.
I think he...
For some, power is alluring.
There was something that had to be done in his timeline, and
But what had to be done?
something he didn't want to happen.
I don't know.
Me.
You?
I don't know.
Did he say anything to you that could relate to, like, anything that he could possibly said? Anything small, minuscule, some snide comment, anything like that could be a clue.
I mean, the first time I saw him, he told me not to make a pact.
Well, that would
And then
be the opposite of what he is.
Do you know why he didn't want you to make the pact?
no. But then after I did, he started talking to me in my mind at times, and saying that one time where he said he has to rework a lot of things because I took a pact. So
You have to kill him, Key. That's why he didn't want you to take the pact.
Because if he goes out of control, the other one has to balance it.
I promised him I wouldn't tell you, but since
Wait.
we're in here and he can't watch. We're in her room, right?
He actually said that. Yeah, we are.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I got a little information out of him. Surprisingly.
He's the one that's going through all the different timelines. He's the only one that hasn't died out of them.
Mm-hmm. She's never been able to kill him.
But that doesn't mean that he could be dead. We could still bring him back.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what he fears. Death. That's why he took the pact with death.
Might be.
Key, growing up with Fenrir, did he have any fears or seemed to be
Everyone has fears.
roll intelligence? Did you get a fucking natural 20? I'm gonna kill you.
What the heck? Wow.
Natural 20.
Holy shit.
I'm not kidding.
Chelsea's face. Oh man. Love that.
Thinking back as children, we remember him saying something as to why he never joined the brigades. It wasn't that he couldn't be good at it, or that he wanted to follow in the family tradition. He wanted power to defy death, to protect everyone like a superhero. He wanted to save everyone he could that he loved. But this grew only more intense as he grew older and became more colder and less around. He failed in something as a younger person. Roll an intelligence. If you get another natural 20, I'm going to kill you.
18.
Okay. His father died. His real father died. And that's when he started to get attributes. Started to realize something wasn't quite right. Benry knew his father wasn't his father. His father hated him, would berate him constantly. You remember him saying as a kid that he thought his dad would beat him silly if he didn't follow directions. Became like Kirith. Always had disdain against that man. Never knew his real dad. His dad died. Took that happiness away. His mom tried her best, but she still had to protect herself from their father. Had to look after Ari. Who's gonna look after him? The one thing he craved was praise from a father figure. His father's dead. He couldn't save his father. He didn't even know he existed. Defying death. Sam!
Stop!
Huh. He seemed to often cling to your dad, too. Your dad actually was nice to him. But unfortunately, he passed. His family didn't want him. Ari said she did, but she's Mama's little girl. She'll grow up to hate him too. His other possible family's gone. Key's around, but she'll leave. Everyone leaves. He's alone. But he still wants to protect everyone he cares about. Let that little light that he still has in his life survive anything. Ari, Key, his girls. Grew more distant over time. Only pop again now and again. How you been? You doing good? Perfect. Did you Did you find the bear yet? There's the smile. Cheeky. Then it'd be gone. Come back a week later, 2 weeks, a month. How's your brother? Good, nice. Where's your dad? I want to speak to him. One more round, Key. You and me. Ari can keep judge. Everyone's slowly gone. That smirk, grin, fades over time, only to show once in a blue moon. There's my girls, how you doing? Oh, why the frown? Come on, smile, it's not that hard. The two most important people left. That's all he has. What happened? Roll intelligence.
Oh my god, Chelsea! Oh, okay, 21.
Noctis' dad said Ari can't know. Ari can't know because she knew in the past. What happened to Ari in the past? Or the future? Ari. If she was to be gone, Key would be the last link. But what if she was the one that had to bring him down? It's possible. If everyone he cares about and wanted to protect from death, well, if he became death, he could protect them. But things aren't going right. Things aren't going the way he wants, not the way he planned. Things keep messing up 17 times. What keeps messing up? He doesn't want to be alone. But he keeps making himself alone. Damn your fucking rolls. Fuck you.
Sorry. It's the bird dice!
You fucking bird dice, I should have known.
Must be weighted just correctly.
Probably. Bird. Bird. But that's a theory. We don't know for sure. That's the most logical information. Ari is his family. His last surviving true family. Other than his mom. But they never really saw eye to eye. I'm not gonna say anymore. That's it. That's what you get with your fucking rolls.
Jeez.
Key, what's wrong? You look stressed. You were fine a second ago.
What did you ask?
I asked if you were okay, you just kind of zoned out. But do you remember anything growing up? Anything that might dictate what's going on? Or maybe something you said in the past?
I think he's like us. He doesn't want to be alone.
Right. Well, technically he's not. He has, like, his whole crew in Glory Grove, right?
Not like that. You can have people around you, but that doesn't mean that you don't feel alone.
True. You can be the loneliest person in a crowded room. Do you think it's that simple?
I don't know.
Maybe he was afraid of something. Something happened.
It's possible. I don't know.
Or maybe he's just fucking stupid.
You always gotta come up with another quip. You know that he's trying to lighten the mood, Key.
I don't know.
Alright.
I mean, I do, I need to talk to him anyway, because if he's somehow working on something with Thanatos, then I fucking need to figure that out myself too, so...
Yeah. Also just kind of looks around your room. So when did she collect you?
I don't know. She just told me that I have a room, so...
Yeah. Makes sense. She can't have children, so she finds ones that can be replacements for herself. She's very maternal. Makes sense. She pegged you perfect, though. This does look just like the gardens.
It really does.
Are you guys okay?
Okay, I'm fine. Truly, utterly. He walks over and takes both your hands in his. You don't have to worry about me. Remember, technically, I can't die. I'll be fine. This one, on the other hand.
Oh, I'm great.
Are you, though?
No,
You
you're
were
not.
torn to fucking shreds.
Not my first nightmare.
But never this bad.
No, he's gotta shake things up once in a while, you know?
Bastard. I wanna fucking kill him.
I don't, No offense, Noctis, but I don't know how the response of "I'm fine" can come from that.
I don't know where my cat went. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I need to let Kylo in because he's pulling at the doorknob. So 1 sec.
There she is. She was outside. I was like, where the fuck did she go? Emotional. I got her to cry. Yes.
What?
I'm talking about you. I got you to cry.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I could do it when I'm like, you know, feeling comfortable enough to do it.
Yeah.
What did I say? Oh, Noctis. I don't know how you can say you're fine.
It's pretty easy.
Doesn't mean
Okay, you
that's
can say
necessarily
it.
true. You can lie through your teeth.
Maybe.
Maybe, no, it's a fact. I've seen you do it multiple times. About the fire in the
So,
kitchen. The rock that went through the window.
I'm not just talking about the dream.
Then I don't know what you're talking about.
Your home, Noctis.
Of course we're worried about it. Okay. But there's nothing really we can do about it, unless we take Baba Yaga down, and I doubt we're strong enough to do so. Not yet, anyway.
I doubt we are too, but it's not what I'm asking.
And what are you asking, Key?
You keep saying you're fine. And I'm honestly getting so sick of everyone lying to me.
Just because we're saying we're fine doesn't mean that we're not thinking about it. Fine means that we understand what's happening and we've come to terms with what's happened. It's bugging us, but we're fine because we know that we will fix it. But we're not letting it bog us down for now. Because we know that we are not strong enough to fix it yet. We know our limitations. I can't just make something change overnight. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's making me angry. But I know my anger isn't going to fix it. Logically speaking, I can bitch and moan and be worried about over something that I can't fix right now, but I know in the future we will be able to fix it. Because I have hope for it. I'm fine is us saying we're okay now, but we will fight in the future. We're not forgetting it. We're not we're not pushing it aside. We've come to terms with, and we know what we have to do in order to make what we need to happen. We're saying we're fine because we're fine at this moment. Because we know the path that we have to take. Yes, we are worried. We are worried sick. I can't even think about the amount of kids that are in that, well, the whole house. Their friends. Family. People we've loved and people that we've lost. We understand that we're not going to stop and mull over and whine and bitch and moan about something that we can't fix right now. Yes, we're worried sick, Kilarian. Believe me, we are absolutely terrified of what's happening, but that doesn't mean that we're going to let that terrifying notion, let our emotions get a hold of us and control our thoughts and tell us what we need to do right now. We're not going to go in guns blazing. That's going to get us killed, and then where will we be? We're thinking through this logically. We have to, because it's not just us on the line. It's all those kids. It's all those families. It's those people that we grew up with, those people that taught us. It's those people that formed us growing up. Noctis and I understand that we have to be patient and we have to get stronger before we can fix anything. Do you understand?
Yeah. So what else is there then that you're fine for?
Well, I've come to terms with my life. I'm living day by day as I can. I'm a spirit inside of a shell of a body. You know, it's great.
More than that.
Maybe not all the time. Luna, you are not going out. I swear to fucking God. Noctis has his own battles, I have my own battles. If there's something that I think speaking about would fix it, I would. But I've spoken to many people about it. You probably just spoke to one of them. She could be a doozy, can't she? Right now, we're all juggling our own plates. We have so many baskets that are filled with eggs that we don't know what to do with all of them. So we're sorting, finding out the priorities, and keeping those in order. What more do you want me to say? Do you want me to tell you that I am dying inside and, oh, I am so stressed and things like that? I'm not. Because I know what's expected of me. I know what is expected of myself. And it's hard, yes, it's hard sometimes. But sometimes it's nice not to think about ourselves and focus on others. Focus on bigger pictures and one woe. Doesn't mean that I'm not looking for any kind of way to get him unlinked to his father. Doesn't mean that I'm not looking to find any way for me to stay in this body longer. We're still working on all these different problems, but at different speeds. Don't know what to tell you. Also, what's this flower? Please tell me.
Daisy.
Daisy. The interesting thing about flowers, once you pick them, then they shrivel up. But if you keep them planted, they still live out their lives until they deem it's necessary for them to go. Guess I chose for this one, didn't I?
It'll grow back.
Won't be the same one though. Never the same one twice. That's how it works, right? They don't do the whole rebirth thing. That's not a thing for them. Do I need to?
I don't know how flowers work.
I don't know.
It depends on the flowers. Some of them are actually like that. So plants, flowers, weeds. It's a thing, sort of, in a way.
Apparently I need to study more. Were you expecting something different?
I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. Just want to make sure you guys are okay.
Key when
Fine, Key.
well, yeah. Besides, if we need you, we'll let you know.
Will you?
Yes. It's gonna walk over to you. Takes your hand, puts it on his heart. I heard an old trick when I was younger. That you can actually tell when someone's lying to you by looking in their eyes. Do you want to ask me again?
Will you tell me?
Yes. Roll insight.
18.
he is telling the truth. Takes your hand away. I may not have lived longer like Noelle has, but I'm a little bit older than you. I know someone who's trustworthy. I've seen enough bad eggs in my life. Looks over at Noctis with a smirk.
Hey.
To know who's trustworthy and who might not be, or anything else. You're one of the good eggs. You have my trust. Got it, kid? Kind of nudges you in the arm. Can I go up into your treehouse? That's what it's called, right?
It's a treehouse.
Walks over. Goes up into it. You and Noctis are by yourself in the meadow. Luna, I swear to God. Why?
Noctis?
Mm-hmm.
How much have you talked to him lately?
About what?
You loud motherfucker, stop it.
I don't know if I should say, entirely. He's important to you, right?
Yeah.
To what level?
What kind of question is that?
I think you know what I'm asking.
Why does it matter, Key?
Why shouldn't it?
Let me rephrase that. Why does it matter to you? I mean, why are you asking me this now?
Why do you think?
I don't know.
Because I see both of you. I see how you are. I see the way that sometimes the two of you look at each other and
Gross.
yeah, gross. And the fact that you said that just proves my point. Because that's exactly where your mind went.
And what do you want from me?
I want to understand. Why? Why don't you take chances?
Uh, the same could be said for you.
I know it could, but I don't have that chance because I don't.
Yeah.
You have that chance, Noctis.
I guess.
I'm not forcing either of you. I just don't understand.
I tried to talk to him when we were in the gardens. He fucking ran away. And then your boyfriend was in my head, you know, making fun of me. I can remember this. He said it never worked out between us.
You believe him?
I don't know. Sko said not to. But...
It's hard not to when you know that he's seen a whole lot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I can't make either of you do anything. I can't make you say anything to each other. But I do think the two of you need to talk a little bit more than you have.
Probably, yeah.
You know how you said one time, you said you were rooting for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I told you that that goes both ways. I meant it.
I know. You did help me save his life, so.
Yeah, and I did it for a reason. Because I saw from the start, Noctis. Because I understood.
Wasn't exactly hiding it.
No, but you've also seen how the rest of the group is. They don't exactly pick up on things quickly.
That's fine.
And I don't think any of them really understand that sort of a thing.
Yeah, maybe not.
I just don't want us to end up in, well, not us. I don't want you to end up in a situation where you could have had a chance and then you didn't take it. And you regret it. Right, and the reason I say this now is because I have now seen in the week both of you. I've almost lost both of you. And if I'm worried about that, I can't imagine what
Can't see it, but I wrote a whole bunch of hearts. Just like,
Dear diary. It's just covered in hearts.
I don't know how much time we have left. As terrifying as that is to say.
You don't think I'd scare him if I told him?
It might scare him, but
Oh, that's not reassuring.
I don't mean in that way. I mean, if he said it to you, would you be scared? I mean, it's a big thing to say to someone. If someone said it to you, I think it'd be terrifying too. Relieving, maybe, but terrifying.
Yeah, but you know he's a little different than me.
Is he?
He did run away when I tried to talk to him.
How did you try to talk to him?
I was trying to tell him why I didn't want him to do something.
Were you gonna tell him then?
I was warming up to it.
I can't tell you how to do it, or when, or if you even will. But I think the reason neither of you have said anything about that or anything along those lines is because you are both scared. I don't think you're very different from each other when it comes to that.
Hmm.
Am I wrong?
Maybe not. But it's probably not for the same reason.
Meaning what?
I'm I'm not afraid that he's going to react poorly or push me away even if he didn't feel the same. I mean, we we've been together since we were kids. He's not gonna suddenly decide not to want to be around me just because I say something. I mean, at least I would hope. That'd be a stupid thing. I just. It's hard to let people get close to you sometimes. I spent my whole life pushing them away. And I guess that's kind of all I really know.
There's always room for change, right?
Ugh. Guess. Hmm. I mean, not Not that I wouldn't welcome the change, it's just difficult, you know? You do something for 30 fucking years and it's normal. It's hard to change that.
Yeah. Like, I push people away too, so I get it.
Noctis, roll a d20.
Oh boy. I'm gonna get my fucking dice out. I'm scared.
Me loving these conversations.
I should be fucking listening. Perhease dice or Noctis dice? I feel like I should roll my Perhease dice, but in the spirit of Noctis, I'm just gonna use his dice. Sure. Okay. That's a 5.
Okay. Thank you. Key, you can see from the very, very far locations, Asa is just now coming back down from the tree. You see that he no longer has the daisy in his hand, but you see him kind of going around and like finding flowers and picking them. He seems to be making a small bundle before walking over to you guys. Kay, do you mind if I take these from your room and put them in mine?
You can have them.
All right.
Wait, are they
As you can
real?
see, I have plenty of them.
Mm-hmm. They're real.
What?
I hope you didn't mind, but I put the daisy on your altar for your family. It's there, and I also lit one of the candles. It should be fine. But I just wanted to, do something. I'm gonna give these to my mum. And you see him go towards the door.
Your mom?
Yeah. He's gonna slowly leave. Goes out the door, closes it.
I'm gonna follow him.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys were gonna have a continued conversation.
leave.
We know. We can continue.
I was like, I thought you guys were gonna have a continuing conversation.
I want to see his room.
He's gonna put the flowers
I'll
on his
stay.
mom's altar.
I'll stay.
He's gonna go give them to his mom.
I know.
Sweet boy.
I love him.
Yeah.
I just want to see his room. No, he's gonna stay. He's just gonna kind of awkwardly.
Probably like do that whole like try to look out the door to like try and figure out where he goes.
He'd be like, "Don't leave me. This is an awkward conversation.
This is an awkward conversation. Come back." He knows where he's going.
Yeah. Little Snoop.
But in the distance, Key, you can actually see that singular flicker of the candle, which is next to your family's altar. Considering the time of day, it's starting to sunset in your room.
Ooh.
No, she's gonna like look because she doesn't see the room like
Mm-hmm.
technically, so she'll like look up and be like,
You kind of get the feeling that your room does have a time schedule for night and day. And the small butterflies that were kind of around, you see slowly turn into fireflies. They're now kind of just dipping and weaving above the flowers.
Noctis is gonna catch one.
Roll dexterity.
Oh boy.
It's a
Why did I do
firefly.
that?
It's a firefly.
I miss catching fireflies.
Key, roll a d20.
10. I think. Let me see. I don't
You
have
were
my
close.
stats.
Oh, hang on. We gotta see.
I think it's a 10.
You were close, but it evaded you. It's a
Yeah,
firefly.
Yeah.
Those fuckers, unless you have a net, are not easy to catch. Thank you very much.
I can catch him.
I'm not good at catching fireflies. I am too slow, or I go above or below. What'd you roll?
19.
Watching the sun set.
I knew this was coming.
You feel almost a tingle on your hand, just for a split moment, as you hear yourself laughing as a child. You look up, you see your father's face, and further on a hill, you see a woman in a long dress holding the hand of your younger brother. You're holding his hand, in your other hand you are holding what looks to be some flowers that you had gathered that you just kind of grabbed along the way. One of them being a dandelion. Your dad picks you up and puts you on his shoulders, and you take that moment and you blow the dandelions as they go off into the air. You see the cotton candy sky behind it. And you hear a voice that's going in and out. It sounds like they're saying your name before you hear your brother's voice morph into it. What'd you wish for? Kay, what'd you wish for? I want to stay up later. Well, that's definitely not going to happen. You really think that's going to happen, sweetheart? You, my dear, unless you're with the family, have a curfew. Remember? Sunset. Gotta be home. Yeah. You kind of smile. You look around the room again. And off in the distance in the meadow, you see one of those little puff balls that reminds you of your family. And that woman? The wind kicks up just enough, blowing Noctis's hat kind of off, and Noctis has to grab it real quick. As the as the dandelions float off for a hot moment. You guys, we gotta leave soon. Oss is at the door, looking in. Come on, everyone's waiting. I'll meet you all out there, Noctis. I'm carrying your shit.
I can carry my own shit.
No, you can't fight me.
I mean, I will.
You'll lose. You hear his voice kind of fade as he goes down the hallway. Leaving you guys as the sunrise slowly turns into the midnight sky. Constellations slowly forming above you. And you can hear the crickets start up. You guys can have the little bit of your conversation, or you guys can leave.
That's what I'm talking about. Moments like that.
What? What do you mean?
The way you are with each other. That's what I mean.
I mean, I'm like that with Nadia too.
Noctis.
Hmm. Yeah. I can't exactly talk to him now, can I?
Not now. But when you want to, just, maybe don't wait too long if you do want to.
I do.
Okay.
You guys head out the room,
Mm-hmm.
leaving the scene as you guys all gather up with everyone else in your group.
Noctis is gonna take some flowers, by the way, like a little handful.
Okay.
As he walks out.
Okay. I would like to leave this setting as you guys go back to the reality of the campaign and just focus in as if this was a cinematic moment on the little Daisy and the statue of her parents in the background as it comes to a close. Yeah. All right.
I know we've passed this point in game already.
Yes.
Noctis is gonna stick those fucking flowers. Like, I don't know. Does Asa have like pockets or something?
Oh yeah, he has 2 back pockets. He has his jacket, which has 2 jacket pockets.
He'll casually slide them in his jacket pocket.
Roll sleight of hand.
Oh boy! Like just as they're like all meeting out, like meeting up or whatever.
Yeah.
Before they leave. Cool. 6.
Are you touching my ass? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Fuck off.
I'm sorry, should I say it was really nice? He's stuck in his jacket pockets, by the way, not his ass pocket.
Oh, I thought you said ass. We'll just.
That's how
you
it
rolled
goes.
a 5.
It's fine.
So you touched his ass.
That's fine.
But he's gonna snag the flowers from you, look at them, and stuff them into his bag. Slowly. So, hope you enjoyed that. That was beautiful. I enjoyed that myself.
I got a nice butt touch. Hell
Yes, you did. You got a nice butt touch.
Yeah, that's what you got out of that.
That was a good conversation. My God.
Which one?
All of them. I got to have a Noelle speech, and I got to have an Asa speech. Things are great.
I'm just crying the whole session. It's fine.
You said you wanted to cry.
I did.
I delivered.
I did. Yep, it's fine. It's fine. She needs to cry more often. She needs to actually cry more often instead of being like
You need to stop blaming yourself.
I'll be honest, through that whole conversation, the song Hellfire was playing through my mind. She's like, it's not my fault.
Oh my
very,
God.
very, very opposite scenarios there.
Yeah, it is, but it just kept playing in my mind.
That's hilarious to me. Also, rainbow hearts. Yeah. All right.
He kind of said what she wanted to say to Noctis, so ha 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 ha.
All right, I'm gonna stop this recording.